we have Sky Silver inviting me to a game. It is an Ordo Malleus mirror between Inekura and LunaticRed, the two Ordo Malleus players other than myself in the Faction War League. This is the group stages, and we've got the Adversary Assassin of Inekura gonna rock double ISTs versus the Demon Hunter, just with one IST for now for LunaticRed. Now Luna is absolutely obsessed with purgation, so I expect to see at least one purgation from LunaticRed, and honestly, you know, I'm kind of getting deja vu. I feel like I've seen this before. Where have I seen this? Did I play like a friendly game against Luna on this map? I don't know, I feel like I've seen this, not gonna lie. But anyway, we've got the first purgation coming out now. Nice use of the range stance there from the strike squad from LunaticRed. Gonna be pushing the IST back, they don't want to be bleeding any models. Probably gonna require the Adversary Assassin here of Ini to come over and help move that strike squad on.
Adding support structure.
Second gen can be dropped down by Luna, of course. Only going for that one IST start means he has more requisition available for him to drop down more generators early. And map control so far looking very favourable for Inekura. Now you would expect that, obviously he's starting with an extra unit right out the gate. Pretty dodgy position here for the IST though. Getting into the retreat path potentially of Grey Knight Strike Squad. Not a great position for them. Probably going to be bleeding some models. They can't take the garrison when the Purgation are there. And in fact, a melee attack there from the Purgation does manage to kill one of the IST. 2 models going down in total, and the Adversary Assassin as well has to get out of there. Oh, isn't that nice? Deimos is welcoming me back by calling me a wanker. Thank you, Deimos. Appreciate that. Nice British insult. How is the audio, by the way? Again, beautiful use of the range stance here from Luna. Leading a lot of IST. And Inekura is going to go for interceptors, which honestly, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's a good choice or not. We'll see. Obviously, that we're going to have the second purgation coming out now. Yes, Beholden Baton, we have the OM Mirror. Strike Squad here going to be picking a little bit of a fight with a Demon Hunter. They will win, of course, but of course the Purgation are here, the second Purgation squad now. And with their support, I think the Demon Hunter should be pretty damn good. OM will indeed 100% lose and 100% win this matchup. So the Interceptors do come out for Inekura, and they're going to force off this Purgation squad. However, he did have his power decapped. It still seems pretty low. Good grief.
We are suffering heavy losses.
Wow, using his jump there from the Interceptors on the IST, I mean, it does get him an extra model, but he's going to need, okay, 2 models. He's going to need a lot of energy to be dealing with double Purgation. Now, I think going for the Interceptors as opposed to Raptors or ASM is actually really nice against double Purgation, because the Interceptors can get so much energy for loads and loads of jumps. And we have, whoa, really interesting, we've got the Emperor's Torch, not the Armour of Fortitude. In the mirror, I really like to go for the Hunter's Blade and the Armour of Fortitude, just basically turn the Demon Hunter into a nice tanky melee hero. Quite odd to get the Emperor's Torch. I don't really understand the purpose of that, but we'll see. And Interceptors here just going to tank the Purgation and force them off with no teleport. The Strike Squad of Luna now do move in, and this is a really bad position for the Interceptors. They've got to get out of there. EA should just type one of the Purgation. IST, I was going to say, should go into the garrison, but actually, what am I talking about? It doesn't matter. They've got double grenades, but in fact, the Purgation just eat the grenades and don't really give a damn. They only bleed 1 model. And that is going to be a 1 engagement. Okay, they bleed 2 models there. The Adversary Assassin is kind of killing everything, killing a Stormtrooper as well. But it is a 1 engagement there for LunaticRed. And meanwhile, LunaticRed had Purgation down bottom, capping everything the entire time. Inekura only just getting his 2nd generator up now. Map control is quite in favour of LunaticRed.
usual.
Yeah,
Press on.
losing the interceptor models is pretty brutal, certainly losing 2 of them right now. Strike Squad might even be able to engage onto the IST, push them back. Yes, they are. This is just a terrible spot, really. Okay, strikes do get forced off, but Purgation aren't going to be able to get this bash, but they don't need to. Lunatic's already ahead massively in eco. Let's have a look at the eco, shall we? Yeah, crazy. Nearly 600 requisition for LunaticRed, who's a substantial amount lower in pop due to having Purgation as opposed to interceptors. Yes, Cryer, I did see besties crying about interceptors. Yeah, I mean, look, people just need to play the game more. They just need to play the game more, in all honesty. I'm hearing so many balance complaints, especially about OM, and people don't have a clue what they're talking about because they don't play the game. So they don't really know what OM can do and what OM can't do. And one thing that OM can do right now is abuse these Purgations. He's using this Emperor's Torch as well, really interesting. Let's see if it's quite noticeable, the damage resistance. I mean, I'd say it was. Purgation not really taking too much damage right now. The Strike Squad not really enjoying this fight with the... because they're too busy trying to focus on the Purgation, so they're eating hits from that 50 DPS power melee Hunter's Blade and the Strike Squads, and they're going to be forced off here. And Purgation actually doing a lot better dealing with the blob of IST on the sidelines than they do against the actual melee units. And what happened over here? IST were forced off by interceptors. I mean, yeah, kind of want your Strike Squad and your interceptors together to deal with Purgation plus Strike Squad. But map controllers switched definitely from the initial start where it was in favour of Inekura, definitely favouring LunaticRed right now. I don't think these double IST have really achieved too much here. And it's going to be a OM Libby for LunaticRed. I don't think Luna realises how far ahead he is in tech. Ah, Beholden Baton. Oh! Going to get a wipe on the Purgation here? Yes, they do. Actually used the Sanctify there for another jump, but it wasn't even necessary. I was just going to say, Beholden Baton is expecting the Razorback. There is a 30-second stream delay here, so of course I seen the Oblivion commented on it a while ago, but of course the viewers didn't. But yeah, it's not going to be our typical tier 2 purchase, the ubiquitous OM Rhino. No, it's going to be an Ordo Malleus Librarian, and I actually really like this pick because if you go for a Rhino first, what you're going to do, you're just going to run around with a naked Rhino? I don't think so. It's not a high impact investment to get a naked Rhino, but of course you can't get the heavy bolter Rhino because then you're just opening yourself up for the enemy to get the las cannon Rhino, right? So you just don't want to go for that kind of play in the first place, and so instead you can opt for the Ordo Malleus Librarian and win all of the melee fights. Obviously melee fights are very important in this matchup, so the Ordo Malleus Librarian can be quite nice, but Lunatic is actually going to follow up the Librarian with Crusaders. Now Crusaders come out very fast because you get them from the global bar, so that's nice. It's going to help him put on pressure. They do have their Frenzy ability in tier 2, giving them a little bit more speed, a little bit more damage, and some damage resistance, just helping them scale a little bit. But until they get tier 3, they're not amazing, and they kind of rely on their on-death effect, where every time they die, all the other models get bonus damage and HP. Lunatic making a bit of a mistake here, overextending into the base. Wow, he's actually just going to tank it. That is incredible. Look how little damage they're taking thanks to the Light of the Emperor there, giving that damage resistance in an AoE. Just walks his Strike Squad out. That is quite something. And now they're going to get a lot of damage onto the Interceptors in retreat. And Inekura is going to go for the Rhino, which does make sense, because, you know, no AV on the Librarian, no AV on the Crusaders. You have to go for a heavy bolted Rhino, but LunaticRed can then just follow up with a last cannon rhino and should be in a good position. We see a bio meltdown used here by the Inekura assassin, but unfortunately seems to not have melee charge for the Inquisitor and Stormtroopers, which is quite sad. Getting a lot of damage onto the Crusaders, but it's not going to be enough to wipe them. And Inekura does not even have the resources to get the heavy bolter on his rhino, so honestly, he's kind of screwed. Luna at this point could save up for a Melter Dreadnought, which would kind of finish the game. It's just a naked rhino, so who cares? He's going to go for a Vindicator Assassin. I don't really like that. There is an Inekura Assassin who can charge into melee and kill him kind of easy. There's also Interceptors. You know, they got that knockback in tier 2. So, I don't like the Vindy. Honestly, I would have just saved up for a Melter Dreadnought.
Target structure has been dismantled.
I guess maybe the Melter Dreadnought is
Support structure complete.
somewhat questionable. I don't know.
The enemy has 300.
I think the Melter Dreadnought would be worth it. Obviously, we don't see anything on the Rhino right now. We don't see a last cannon upgrade or a heavy bolter upgrade. But whilst it's naked like this, it's just not really a threat. Just ignore it. Yeah, we already see a beamer as well, so this is more than sufficient AV. I would have just gone for a beamer and just left it at that until I could get the Melter Dreadnought out. Yeah, speed 6 on the Crusaders. They are speedy boys. But also, he has the Blessed Icon. So, gets that 2.5 extra speed in an AoE when he uses that. Obviously has very good synergy with the Crusaders to help them get retreat kills. Oof, Plasma Gun's just instantly killing one of the strike models there. Automalis Librarian's not too happy about it, smites him, kills an IST. But they're just reinforcing off the box for now. We do have the Banishing Cloak as well.
The enemy must pay.
I mean, kind of a crazy heavy investment in anti-vehicle here from LunaticRed. But the IST are doing a decent job just poking. Like I said, they also are kind of bleeding quite a lot as well. Let's see, they're doing some sort of push here. Crusaders going in, but there's a lot of melee sitting in wait for Inekura. Got the strikes and the interceptors to engage, and Chemnades. Wow, when did he get the Chemnades? I can't say I even noticed, but the Inekura Assassin right now is in melee with the Vindicator. And the IST get out. I really don't like this composition from Luna. I think he'd have been so much better off if he just went for a Melter Dread. Well, Vindicator gets a kill on an interceptor there, but the beamer goes down. And now the Rhino gets a heavy bolter. And he should be in a pretty good spot. Well, not really, because Lunatic is actually going tier 3 and Innie has no power. So you get Grey Knight Terminators and it's kind of GG. Oh, also tier 3 Crusaders. Tier 3 Crusaders plus Grey Knight Terminators is going to be very difficult to deal with. Inekura really needs to get a heavy bolter on this Rhino and just take all the fucking map right now.
We shall make it so.
Problem is that Luna, even after going tier 3, still has 100 power in the bank, so even if all this farm was bashed, he'd have enough power to get a Vortimer Razorback out, which then could kill the Rhino very easily. My delay is 30 seconds, and it's because, of course, I'm streaming myself playing. I don't want stream snipers. Of course, players... Also, I'm streaming League games. Players can be watching this in the background. They can hear my voice. I don't want them to know what people are building. So obviously, with a 30-second stream delay, it's chill. And unfortunately, here we go, we're going to see the Vortimer Razorback, and honestly, I don't know what Inekura is going to do about that. Obviously, he's got this naked Rhino right now, which he could get a last cannon on, but you can have as much last cannon as you want on the Rhino. It is going to be out DPS'd quite considerably by a Vortimer Razorback. Not to mention, we've still got this banishing cloak as well, which hasn't even been used. I've not seen one use of it yet. Thank you for the follows, waaagh. Why weren't you following already?
Found a requisition point here.
Yeah, Inekura's economy is just a mess, isn't it? Absolutely doomed. Don't really know what you can do here. Crusaders just need to get their priest. Yeah, they're getting it now. And then they'll just be able to roll over the entire roster of Inekura, bar the Rhino, which of course can get killed by the Vortimer Razorback. Vortimer doesn't have any upgrades yet, so it doesn't have its Hunter Killer missile. It's also only got 650 HP, but the Rhino doesn't even have a last cannon, for God's sake. And here we go, now we've got the Acolyte Leader on the Crusaders, and these guys are now jacked. This, beautiful, just wipes out the Strike Squad just like that, and they're going to kill the Aversa Assassin too. This guy is pretty crazy. Wow, that did a lot of damage, Jesus. But not enough to kill any models, unfortunately. And that's going to be the game. Yeah, I mean, he's bleeding like crazy. Inekura was just bleeding way too much. Way too much bleed. The IST bled absurd amounts. And he gets the Acolyte Leaders now, but it's kind of late. I feel like he did need them a long time ago. I attempted to dodge the smite there, I don't think that worked. I think that was a little bit late. It's kind of hard when they can cancel the smite, you know? Yeah, I mean, he's going for Purgation now, but even if he kills the Vortimer, which I don't think he will, Lunatic has tier 3 Crusaders, and if he cancels the Rhino, should be able to get Terminators fairly quick. Why is he going for a Rhino? What is this? Is he just wanting tier 3 Crusaders plus Rhino? Maybe. Maybe. Last Rhino wasn't winning against the Vortimer. Deimos, stop trolling. And he had a bit of a freeze. Well, it didn't make no difference.
Readying missile launcher. Ready for duty.
What do you mean it looks so slow?
We have 300 points remaining.
Yeah, I assume he just wants the box Rhino to synergize with the Crusaders. Obviously got amazing synergy because they get the buff every time you lose a model to make all the rest of them do more damage and have more HP, which is scary enough anyway, but then when you reinforce off of the Rhino, yeah, it's a pretty amazing combo. See the Emperor's Torch used again. I mean, what is this? This is just trolling. And then he charges in with a Blessed Icon to make them move really quick. Vortimer is getting his ass kicked by a Beamer right now. And it's reversing into it as well. Vindicate with Psychic Assailment's trying to do something, and the Crusaders just ripped to pieces the fucking Beamer. Yeah, and they're just reinforcing off of the Rhino. Hilarious. And that's another dead IST. Vortimer survives. And that is the game. Yeah, he just wanted some Rhino Crusader synergy. Metal boxes all over the place. All over the place. 20-minute game, can't believe it. Didn't feel like it was 20 minutes. Probably because I felt like Inekura had no chance after the first 5 minutes. I don't know really what to think of the builds. I don't think inherently the 2 IST is problematic. I think, honestly, Purgation kind of kicks the shit out of the Aversa Assassin in general. I think the EA is the weakest of all of the heroes in the OM mirror. So the question is, though, do you go Purgation back in order to try and fight against the double Purgation? Or do you do what Ini did and go Interceptors? I don't know. Either way, Ini has got rid of his Aversa Assassin now, and we're gonna have the Brocap into... what was it? The Aversa Assassin of Luna? Interesting. Which would then, what, leave the Demon Hunter versus the Brocap, which I think the Demon Hunter and the Brocap are pretty on par. Yeah, he's going to be rocking the Aversa Assassin right now. Cool.
Strategic point spotted here.
Now the Purgation Cheese is going to be way less effective against the Brocap, since he of course is immune to the suppression, can't be knocked over by bullshit like the IST frag grenade.
Adding support structure.
It's interesting you say that, Olev, as well. Olev is here in the chat saying the Aversa Assassin needs some new globals that don't suck. But, you know, Bio Meltdown has gone through so many iterations. Is it not still a solid global? Now, I must admit, the line of sight on every unit on the map, it doesn't really seem worth it for the red cost. But Hypermetabolism seems fantastic. It can keep your Aversa Assassin alive from some really quite ridiculous situations. And he was always designed to be a very selfish hero, but I don't know, he is kind of lacking. Like, he doesn't have that much early game pressure as you would perhaps want, given how selfish he is and his whole design. It feels like the Lictor has a lot more early game pressure. Well, of course, the old Bio Meltdown was better, and you know, I do wonder, was it slightly over nerfed? I'm not sure. Not sure. Here we go, we got the Nemesis Force Sword coming out for the Brother Captain straight away. Kills a Strike Squad model here. I think he's going to win this fight, you know, because the DPS right now on the Strike Squads is pretty poor. Oh, definitely with this for Nemesis Force Sword coming out. Oh my god, kills another Strike Squad model. He's doing crazy damage because of that Force Sword. I don't think he's realised. Luna hasn't realised. Okay, he gets out of there. Let's see if Inekura overextends. We've got the suppression into the snare ability down the Purgation. It's going to basically just prevent the Strike Squad from moving. They have to retreat out of there, certainly with the Aversa Assassin there to assist. And so, you know, map control is in favour of Luna, but that's a lot of bleed going onto the Strike Squad there, losing 2 models.
Reporting enemy contact. We're pinned down out here.
Well, you don't really use Hypermetabolism just to keep him in fights longer. You use Hypermetabolism to reduce cooldowns so that you can throw a double Melter Bomb within a short duration. Or you just use it most of the time, in all honesty, to prevent him from dying on retreat. Because the HP regen is nuts. You don't use it like at the start of a fight, you use it late on in a fight. As if Luna's literally just running this Strike Squad around with 1 model. Can you believe it? What's going on over here? Okay, Brocap's tying him up. Brocap now has the unending purge. And yeah, the Brocap's being quite a problem. You see, these Purgation are forced off here. This Purgation squad's ran through to try and get to the gens, and the Brocap just turns around and deals with him. Healing every time he attacks in melee and range because he has this Unending Purge upgrade, and because he's got that Nemesis Force Sword giving him 50 power melee DPS, he's actually doing quite a lot of damage to these Purgation in melee as well. We're also seeing that the silly one model Strike Squad IST combo on this side did eventually get forced off, and that opens up an opportunity for Inekura to move up his Purgation squad and try and get a Gem Bash off. Unfortunately, he is going to be meeting the Purgation of Luna, who should just be able to suppress them and prevent this Gem Bash from occurring. Yeah, gonna have some Purgation wars here. I always find these quite comical. And with the supporting fire there of LunaticRed's IST, Inekura's Purgation are going to be waddling back to base. There's an angry Aversa Assassin there using his Psychon to get that damage boost, just chopping away at the BC, but honestly not really doing that much. What is going on with this? There's something weird about Purgation and their model losses. Like, the BC was hitting that lead model for ages there. Why did the lead model not die? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, this is looking really nice for Luna right now because he just forced off the Brother Captain, which is of course the primary counter to both these Purgation. Now both the Purgation have got a nice opportunity to move in on the Gen Farm. The Strike Squad of course can zone, keep the IST away, whilst Luna can get the full Gen Bash. Now Inekura does have a nice stockpile of power. He is building a node over here so he can retain a little bit of income. I do have to question why Inekura hasn't purchased an extra squad in tier 1. I think that would have been very valuable for him, even though he would probably be a little bit far behind in tier 2. And Inekura is going to lose his entire gen farm. That said, he does have a tremendous amount of requisition. I don't know. I don't think Purgation do have die last models. I think what might be going on, I think it's when they use their ability, the model that uses the ability turns into a die last model. I think that's what's happening. Because ordinarily they don't have die last models. But I've noticed this a few times in a row actually. Luna is a god at using the suppression into the ability. In fact, that was Inekura one we're talking about. Anyway, he gets forced off by the Aversa Assassin, so actually that was pretty good for Innie. Managed to take out 2 of the gens there of Luna, so... Man, he even started the tier 2 tech. Was Luna floating? I was too busy reading the chat. He must have been floating, right? I feel like Luna was a heading tech. Ooh, BC might go down here. We've got the Aversa Assassin and the Strike Squad hitting him. He's probably going to go down. One more hit. Yeah, he's dead. Nice. We need to get a death animation for the Brother Captain. In fact, remind me, guys, after this stream, in fact, can someone send me on Discord a message to remind me to inquire about a death animation on the Brother Captain? Can someone just send me a Discord message so I remember when this is done to inquire about that? It's definitely something that we need for that guy. So Luna does get to tier 2 a little bit quicker, but I really feel like he was going to have a bigger lead than he did. It's Purgation up getting a lot of work done, burning down this node. We're going to get a bit of Purgation wars again. Justicar coming in for Luna here, so this is going to be a really good engagement for him. Kind of, but the Purgation are really deep. They're doing it again, they're not bleeding models. What is going on? That front model should have been dead, but the rear one was taking the damage. I don't know what's going on with the Purgation models. Something weird is happening. Something weird is happening. No further upgrades yet for the Brocap. Purgation need to suppress the Strike Squad. Don't want them getting into melee now. They got that power melee Justicar. No, they failed that. They failed that pretty hard, and they need to get out of there. They're gonna get wiped. And it's going to be a Rhino for LunaticRed. Now, one thing I will say about the Rhino on this map, it's a pretty shitty map for Rhinos. Ooh, Inekura is going for the Grey Knight Dreadnought. I like this play by Ini, because this map really favours things like the Melter Dreadnought. There's loads of tank traps, which make it really awkward for your transports to be driving around. I need tanks later on in the game. The other thing is, there's little line of sight blockers as well. I mean, look here. Can't shoot through here. Obviously, likewise around here. Can't shoot through here. You can't shoot through here. It's a pain in the ass. You can't shoot through here. You can hide behind here. So a Melter Dreadnought has a lot of opportunities to hide from a lascannon Rhino, such that, you know, if the lascannon Rhino wants to shoot at him, the Melter Dreadnought will get the melee charge and can then just hunt him down and kill him with a Melter. It's a very good map for the Melter Dreadnought, not so much for transports.
One of our generators is under attack.
Burkup's doing pretty good with his Force Sword here. I think that upgrade has definitely been worthwhile. Metal boxes there, just deposit some purgation. Oh, we're already going to see the Melter Dreadnought, makes sense. Should be able to get a kill. Nope, a little bit too slow. And Ini just drops down double gens again. I don't really think he needs the gens that badly.
We have 300 points remaining.
Wait, what? Wow, he's going for the heavy bolter Rhino. Okay. I mean, look, he's got double purgation, so we're going to see one beamer, and maybe these guys will keep the incinerators, I'm not sure, or they might go for a side cannon. Ah, now look at this, we've got the Neuro Gauntlet on the Aversa Assassin, and now he should be able to 1v1 that Brother Captain quite easily. Not only is this thing an 80 power melee DPS weapon, but it also has 5 piercing damage that it does over 2.5 seconds, so that is an effective extra DPS of 12.5. So it's 80 DPS power melee, 12.5 DPS piercing, 92.5 DPS weapon. Pro Bowcat does not want to fight that in melee. Yeah, no hits unfortunately. Metal Dreadnought's so annoying like that, how it's got that 50% fire on the move. When it hits, it hurts. When it doesn't hit, it fucking sucks. Is this still in range? No, it's not. Okay. I was going to say, he gets the snare from the beamer, plus the Melter Bomb on the Aversa Assassin. Of course, that's 100% snare, but unfortunately, they're out of range a little bit. Taking the fight here. This guy should die from the Melter, but unfortunately, yeah, kind of in range of the beamer. This is what I'm saying about the line of sight on this map, though. It's a pain in the ass. I mean, obviously, right there, Inekura. Oh no, Inekura lost the strike squad. He needed the Brother Captain in that fight. What's he doing? Come on, Ini. You know better than that. Boom. You should know better to engage like that. Brother Captain's going to take a lot of damage right now. Oh, beautifully done though. Frag grenade into a Melter shot into the Rocap will be a dead Aversa Assassin, but the whole time the purgation with the incinerators are still chilling there, just killing the gens. Rambo needs me for a 3v3. Liga. Bundesliga. Melter Dreadnought right on the edge of the Beamer's range right now. Should be out of line of sight, I think. Unfortunately, not able to kill the... How long will it take? Oh my god, Rambo, shut up. The lack of power is quite problematic. I mean, honestly, if Inekura hadn't lost the strike squad, he'd probably compositionally be in a pretty damn good spot. Right now we've got the Vindicare on top of the Beamer, and the problem for Ini is he's kind of lacking in map control, yet his IST now just need to stand there repairing the Dreadnought. So that obviously is going to take away a lot of his potential map control. Both players just constantly sending incinerator perks at the gen farm over and over and over.
A battle brother has fallen. Do not let his sacrifice be in vain.
Nice play there by LunaticRed, not just instantly retreating the strike squad, he rotates them slightly to the left so that they retreat down this way and the purifiers aren't in retreat path. And you know what? Oh, I was going to say he might get rewarded for that by not even losing a single model. He does lose one model, but honestly, if he retreated instantly there, he might have lost two. Just little plays like that that show that, you know, high skill, high skill. Drops the Psychic Field and Mind Blades. The Aversa Assassin's like, hey, you're alright, mate, I'll fight you later. Retreat straight out of there. And Pergs once again, scouting the gen farm. Nothing to bash. Just kiting the Purifiers right now with this heavy bolter. Rhino. Got a Vindicare shooting at them. Purifiers got to retreat. The problem for the Purifiers is they might do a lot more damage than the Strike Squad, but they don't have that healing out of combat that the Strike Squad have, so they're going to be in base healing for a very long time right now. This is basically the situation that we had last time.
Support structure complete.
And Innie's now gone for a Beamer himself. I'd really have gone for a Psycannon, I think, because he needs... Well, it's tough because he's got that Vindicare to deal with. I was going to say he kind of needs range superiority or the Dreadnought just gets zoned. At least if he could kind of shoot them all to death, he can keep the Dreadnought back to shoot at any Grey Knights that try to run into melee.
The enemy is capturing one of our strategic points.
Oh, Cap Toika Easy. Cap Toika Easy is Little Shadow. Well, there was a guy called Shadow who followed me earlier today. Shadow, why are you not called Shadow? Why are you called Cap Toika Easy? What does that mean? Cap Toika. What does that mean? I guess it's probably not pronounced like that. Anyway, the Dreadnought's going balls deep right now, charging into melee with a Beamer. It does get in there, but it looks like the IST are going to get wrecked by the Strike Squad. I don't really know why they were following right behind. The Dreadnought's just running at the Rhino, but honestly, it should be running at the Vindicare, because he's just free to get pot shots right now, which is not great. And the Broquette is really good in Tier 1 against the Strike Squad, less so in Tier 2. I think the Dreadnought, yeah, the Dreadnought does catch it. Now it needs to deal with the... Oh my god, look at the damage on the Vindy! Jesus! Oof! My god! 2 shots and that is a wiped out Vindicare. The Aversa Assassin now is running into melee, but he only does power melee DPS, so... Grey Knight Dreadnought kicking ass. Look guys, I said it. I did say... And it was kind of looking like Innie was using it really badly to start with. And it kind of made me sound like an idiot. The Grey Knight Dreadnought did not look very effective at all. But yeah, there you go. That is how it is meant to be played on this kind of map. It's so awkward. You can't hit it with the las cannons because of all the shot blockers. And it just triggers the melee charge on the Rhino. You've got tank traps everywhere. It's a nightmare to micro. The fucking Grey Knight Dreadnought catches the Rhino and then just pops the Vindicare Assassin. Brutal stuff. Brutal stuff. So, Innie's still in this. He's got interceptors as well. It's going to help him deal with the purgation, I guess. But it's really overstaying right now, though. Yeah, that's really painful. I don't really know what he was doing there. He didn't need to take that fight at all. Let's see how the Purifiers do against the Strike Squad. The problem is the Strike Squad are level 2, so the Purifiers can't proc specials on them. And Purifiers are getting wrecked. Obviously the Strike Squad just reinforced off the Rhino. So again, I don't know why... I don't know why Innie took that fight. What was the point? Oh, it means potato. Brilliant. Brilliant. Love it.
Understood.
Okay, well, Luna's now getting his own Dreadnought out. The Incinerator Pergs have been turned into Beamer Pergs. But once again, it's going to be the same modus operandi for the Dreadnought. Just charge straight at the Beamer. Force it off. The Strike Squad are doing pretty decent damage though. I think they might be able to take out this strike... this... Okay, no. It lives again. This is chaotic as hell. And this is going to be a las cannon rhino. Yeah, I don't know how the rhino managed to push the dread there. That was interesting. And you know that Luna loves his incinerators, so he's got a heavy incinerator now on a Grey Knight Dreadnought. Probably going to go over bash all the gens and then turn it into a melee one. Okay, he's going for a plasma cannon. Okay, Luna. Okay. You memer. Brocap did so much early on, and then just the game hit tier 2, and he was completely irrelevant. Yeah, I don't know why Luna went for the Vindy. I didn't like that play at all.
But he is not yet beaten.
Bucking Plasma Cannon Dreadnought. The first one we've seen so far in the league. Hurricane Bolters and a Plasma Cannon. Hit it in melee and it cannot shoot for 5 seconds. Just a thing to know. Don't know what's happened to my music. It's gone. Pretty nice initial hit there. Getting shot by the beamer. And yeah, Inekura is dropping Mind Blaze on the Purifiers, but unfortunately they had about 1/3 of their HP when you did that, so it's not going to work, mate. It's not going to work. I think the Plasma Cannon did a bit more damage to their own strike squad there than anything else. Is the beamer gonna... The pathing on this map, man, is so bad.
Go ahead, sir.
And now Inekura's got a Vindicate. What the fuck is this game? This is a weird game. Incinerator Purgation level 4. Gonna go for the gen farm once again. And the Plasma Cannon Dreadnought is kind of just walking around thinking, why do I exist? What am I going to do with myself?
Let's get to it.
And for some reason Luna isn't taking the VP. I think he's trolling. And he's not wrong. Purifiers are pretty terrible. I mean, the Strike Squad is nearly as good. I actually kind of want to do some testing of tier 2 strikes versus Purifiers. I think one of the biggest problems is that I bet level 2 strikes actually beat level 1 Purifiers. It wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me.
Are we to accept defeat?
Pretty nice that the Plasma Cannon Dreadnought can actually stop the Brother Captain from capping. Quite hilarious. And at this point, Inekura is 100% screwed. 100% screwed. Not enough VPs left. Yeah, second Dreadnought's going to come out. And that's going to be the game. It's going to be 2-0 in favour of your boy LunaticRed, proving his Order Malleus supremacy.